college football because I are you okay? What are your
Yeah, no, I'm
thoughts
fine.
on what are
Yeah,
your thoughts
yeah,
on the college football playoff bracket? Because I was pretty excited to see what was going to happen. Um,
yeah.
just to see who got left out more so
Mhm.
than anything else. Um,
Well,
I
listen,
would
yeah, the committee did it right. They
you think
got
they
it
did it
right
right?
at the
Okay.
end. Yes, because really the only thing that was up for debate based on kind of the criteria that they set forward is the only thing that was up for debate was were you going to, you know, ram Alabama down our throats again, or were you
Yes.
going to do the right thing and drop them out? And they did the right thing. SMU in a 3-point loss in the ACC championship game to Clemson was deserving of that spot. And there's just no way around. And I know the committee hated to see that happen. They were the biggest SMU fans because they want Alabama in there. They're the biggest brand in football.
Yep.
And um, so they did the right thing by getting them in there. Now, I think what we found is that the the it's flawed a pretty good bit. You know, I think that going forward, you you guarantee the conference champions a bid. Like that's obvious. You do that, but you
Yeah.
don't give them a bye. They're not necessarily deserving of a bye. There's no way in any world that Boise State, as a group of five conference champion, deserves a first round bye over the SEC runner up or the ACC runner up. Or, yeah, like, there's just, it's cute, but it's like, it's just not going to, they're not deserving of that. They're not one of the four best teams. Arizona State finished hot, but
Yeah.
are we going to sit back and say that Arizona State deserves a bye over, Georgia or over Ohio State or Penn State? Like, there's just, I don't like it. I don't like the buys going to conference champions. I think you just rank your teams 1 through 12,
And you just give them.
you seed them correctly, and if the group of 5 champion is below 12, then you just put them at 12 and bump number 12 back.
Yeah, I agree because I mean, I felt like all the teams were right. Like
Yeah.
especially with Alabama not making it, I was like, I like these. I think they decided correctly on the teams, but it's like you said, the seeding for me this time. It's like, man, you still got to figure something out because you got Boise
Yeah.
State and Arizona State as a 3 and a 4 seed with a bye, and it's just like,
Yeah.
are they
And
better than Ohio State? Are they better than Georgia? Are they better than Texas? That kind of stuff.
yeah. And so of the, and I know SEC fans are mad because they're saying that, only 3 teams in the SEC. There's no way only 3 teams in the SEC are in the top 12. And I tend to agree with that. I think Alabama is better than SMU. I think if you line up Alabama and SMU, Indiana, I mean, God help them. They're going to lose by 40 to, I forget who they play in round
Notre
one.
Dame,
Was it
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame? Yeah, and I don't cheer for Notre Dame either, but Notre Dame just gonna muscle them into the ground.
Yep.
They just don't deserve it. Strength of schedule, it turns out, didn't matter, and that's another negative going into how you schedule these. The university schedule their teams going forward. Is strength of schedule does not matter like they said it did. Indiana played one good team and they lost,
Yeah.
and they played 11 bad teams and they won, and it's just not apples and apples to apples with the SEC where you play an 8-game SEC slate, an SEC where you finished the season with like a what 6 teams, 5 teams at
Or a lot.
5-3 and 6-2 to end the season. You had no SEC team outside of Texas have one loss. We just beat each other up.
Yeah.
And so strength of schedule did not matter. And so if they don't start factoring that in, you're going to have a lot of pointless regular season games against cupcakes.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to hope that your only losses come to SEC teams, and then you just go forward with it and you
Yeah.
just hopefully have the better win-loss record at the end.
Yeah. So out of these first round, out of all the first round games, are what's your favorite? You're getting a lot. I love DG's mad at you for this Indiana
Yeah,
slander.
that's fine. Listen, Daniel doesn't love Indiana. He loves that Kurt Signetti is a covering machine.
He loves making
Okay.
money.
Yeah, he loves making money, and I'm with you on that. And maybe the love of making money over 12 weeks resulted in a slice of fandom, but it's not. No, just
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'll have to look it up real quick.
I
Do
got
you
enough
have the
for you.
matchups?
Yeah.
All right,
So it's
hit me with it.
Clemson versus Texas. Winner of that plays Arizona State.
Yeah,
Tennessee, Ohio State. Winner plays
yeah.
Oregon. SMU, Penn State. Winner plays Boise State. Indiana, Notre
Ugh.
Dame. Winner plays Georgia. I think that
See, that's
Tennessee,
my thing.
Ohio State game is going to be
That,
awesome.
yeah, that game's good. That's probably the best one.
Yeah. The
But the
rest of them,
winner plays who? Arizona State.
no. So the winner of that's the only one that Tennessee, Ohio State winner plays Oregon.
Tennessee. Okay, that's the best bracket.
That's the only bracket that I like because it's Texas, Clemson. Winner plays Arizona State.
All right, so Penn State plays
SMU.
SMU, and the winner plays
Boise
Boise.
State.
That is just that's so stupid because Penn State, I believe, is the fakest team on that whole 12 team. I do not buy Penn State. They've lost 2 games all year, and they didn't score on offense in either game.
They
Like
did.
I don't want any part of that. And the fact that they get to play get to play SMU
In Boise
and
State.
then play Boise.
One of those 3 teams is going to be in the Final Four, and that seems silly.
Yeah, no, that's just it's disingenuous, and it's giving. I get the Boise State thing, but they should not get a bye. It's like, what if in college basketball the Mountain West Conference champion was guaranteed a top 4 seed in the March Madness bracket? Like, that's dumb.
It's very dumb. I mean, it's super dumb because look at the
We're
product here.
catering. Listen, this is a meritocracy. This is what it should be. And I'm sorry, Boise State, like, it's just not merited.
No,
It
but
is
I mean,
not.
because you're going to have teams like you're looking at a Final Four that could be Texas, Oregon, or Ohio State, Georgia, and then you're going to have Boise State or Penn State or SMU, and one of those things is not like the other. You've got
Yeah, I
these.
hope it's SMU.
Really? Oh man, can you
Yeah, I
imagine
do.
if SMU is an 11 seed gets in that
You know,
top 4?
SMU's a good story. Of these
Yeah.
that like SMU deserve to get in. I mean, there are 1 loss of regular season, lost a 3-point game in the conference championship game. I believe SMU deserved to get in. SMU in the first year of a new conference in the ACC, they are not making to get into the ACC. They signed a contract that said we will not share a dime of TV revenue for X amount of years. Like, they are losing money.
Yeah, they are.
And just to get into this conference, and so they're like, just whatever you've got to do, just let me in.
Let me
And they
in.
went in and they dominated. It's a great story.
I'm with you. I want to see us. The problem is it's a great story, but if SMU makes that Final Four, they're going to probably play Georgia, and then it's like,
But I don't know how much better Georgia is. Like,
oh really?
I'm still in that thing. Like, I don't know what Carson Beck did, but we've seen Carson Beck twice this year, just like be awful.
Yes, like and awful, not bad, awful.
I think Oregon is the team to beat. I mean, that's obvious. We're talking about the number 1 overall seed, but they are the team to beat. They're the most well-rounded. They're the only ones that's frankly done it all year long without, in a season where there's been upsets, not being upset and just going chalk is the most impressive thing that you can do.
Yep.
You
And
know,
if Oregon ends
Ohio
up winning,
State, yeah.
if
Yeah,
they end
go
up
ahead.
winning, it's going to be even more impressive because, like we said, they're going to have to beat Ohio State or Tennessee, and then they're most likely going to have to beat Georgia in the final. Like, it's going to be earned most like.
And DG has a good point here. Carson Beck he left that SEC championship game with a right shoulder issue, and so he did not return back to the game until overtime when the backup quarterback got his helmet knocked off and had to leave for a play.
Tough
And so
son.
Carson Beck took a snap and handed it off, and they scored. And it's almost like he closed the game for him. But yeah, he was not even holding his arm up when he took the snap, handed it with his left hand, just so they could get the playoff and have a quarterback in the game.
Man, I'm excited. It's just exciting. I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the first event expanded field. Whether or not they got
Oh
the
yeah,
seating
yeah.
right, whether or not they got it right, that's
And
neither here nor there.
I don't like those matchups. None of those matchups
None
are
of them
fair.
are good.
Tennessee, Ohio State's good. Uh, Notre Dame, Indiana, Penn State, SMU. Like, none of the matchups are good.
Nope. I mean, like, what's the Clemson, Texas?
Clemson, Texas is interesting.
It's
I do like
interesting,
that.
but not good.
Not good, but interesting. That's number 2. By
The
a
other two
long
just
shot,
are. Yeah, the other two are just not good. Notre Dame, Indiana, SMU, Penn State. Those are just not exciting.
No, you're right. And I don't know with that field, if you drop, I think those boring teams should have to play in the first round. Boise should have to play in the first round.
Arizona State.
Arizona State is so fun. Listen, I watched them. I watched pretty much that whole Arizona State, Iowa State Big 12 championship game. And
Yeah.
I know Rusty didn't because it's like massive, like war flashbacks for him. Because Arizona State played Mississippi State like week 2 this year at 9:30 at night. Dude, the Scatterboo, the white running back that they've got, is a bowling ball of butcher knives. Dude just trucks people and never slows down. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo is amazing. If you haven't seen any clips of him, the dude is like Peyton Hillis at Arkansas.
Remember Peyton Hillis?
Like, every time he carries the ball, it's like a 12-round title fight. I love him.
Man, if they continue, it's going to be on the back of that guy, that kid.
Dude, I love him.
I
And
love
their
it.
coach, Kenny Dillingham, I believe, was an assistant at Memphis. He is just like an electric factory. He's a young coach that just feels like he just snorted pre-workout
Yeah,
before the game. And he's just twitchy at all times, ready to fight.
Love it, man. So that's the most fun story, right? The Arizona State, that's probably that and SMU were the fun stories.
Yes.
Whether or not the matchups are going to be good, we'll have fun.